Hello everyone, my name is Chanchal and I'm here again with all of you for yet another Money Hour. So, this Money Hour is nothing but me coming live for an hour and answering all your questions that you throw my way. So, today's topic is post office TDs, RDs, and KVPs. So please feel free to drop your questions in the comment section below and I'll try to answer as many questions as I can in this hour. We also announce our lives at least 2 days beforehand, and you can always drop your questions there and we'll make sure that we answer them as well. Before starting, I would like to ask all of you, how have all of you been doing? It's been more than a week that I've come and visited you all, and I really hope you guys are doing fine and everyone's safe and healthy and happy at home. So let's get started with our question answers today, and please keep interacting with me in the comments. So it's going to be a fun interactive session and not just me, blabbering stuff for you. Okay. So how we're going to go about this is you can keep asking your questions. I already have a couple of questions with me in hand and I'll start answering these. Then as I get questions, I'll take up them as well. And every time we think that it's getting too technical, we can always switch to having a conversation about these three type of schemes that the post office offer us, so that we can have a better understanding, like who should invest in these schemes, how much should one invest in these schemes, and all the right things that one should be aware about before making an investment in these schemes. Okay, so let's begin. Our first question is by Shikha Sharma, and she's asking, is there any difference between the schemes provided by Indian Post Office and Indian PSU banks? Does Post Office have their own mutual funds like SBI and Hdfc, etc.? Well, thank you, Shikha, for sending in your question. I'll answer these questions in parts. So, your first question, that are the schemes any different from for the post office and the PSU banks? Well, your product can be the same for multiple entities, but yes, the offerings that they provide, the terms and conditions that there are, they can be different. So, for example, if you are looking for an RD account in a post office and you also look at an RD account at a bank, the minimum amount or the minimum investment amount can be different. The rate that they're offering can be different. The calculation of your interest can be different. For example, here it can be something XYZ% compounded quarterly. So in a bank, it can be XYZ% interest paid annually, compounded annually too. So these minute details can vary, but yes, they can offer the same product, since it's like nothing too exceptional that one is offering. So the product can be similar, however the offerings can be different. And to your second point, does post office have their own mutual funds like SBI and HDFC? Then no, post office don't have that yet, because post office is still a government owned entity, and maybe the day they decide to go private is when we can expect their shares and stocks coming out. But no, post office don't offer any mutual funds as such. Great. Now coming to our next question by Kalpana Khanna. We have a question. What do you think should be the priority number of investment for KVP? So, Kalpana, the minimum amount that you can invest in a KVP is ₹1,000, and it has to be in multiples of 100 only, and there is no maximum limit. So, again, you are free to decide how much you want to invest in this instrument basis your investor portfolio. For example, this is a fixed income instrument, right? You have a set return on investment mentioned to you. So, we have a hi here by Priya. Hi, Priya. Welcome to the live. So now you have a fixed return on your instrument. So you know that this is a part of debt that you can cover in your portfolio. So if you have suppose 20% you decide to put in debt instruments or out of your entire 100% portfolio, within that 20%, how much do you want to allocate to this KVP instrument is going to determine how much amount you need to make your investment in it. So it completely is optional to you. What is your portfolio? How much money do you think is better to put in this instrument? If comparatively you're finding another instrument which is also a fixed income instrument which provides a better return, then you can always either diversify or choose that over this. So here the key is comparison and your own personal choice. So I hope that answers the question. Moving on, we have a question from Sai Deepika. Does RD post office worthy than bank? Do they have difference in interest rate? So yes, Sai Deepika, they do have a difference in their interest rate because all of the whole purpose behind an RD is very different. They take money from the investors and they use it for giving out loans to other corporates and entities, and accordingly they charge something and pay you back. So this is how an RD works, right? So every bank has a different lending percentage. They have a different borrowing percentage. So here your interest rate differs. For post office, definitely it's different because I think the last amount that I saw on an RD in 2020 April was somewhere around 6.9%, 6.8%. And in today's date, you can check the banks and it's definitely not going to be that. So yes, the percentage do differ. And does RD post office worthy than bank? Again, like I mentioned in the first comment, that you have to check whether the features and the offerings that the post office is giving you with respect to their RD, is it something that caters to your need, and is it something that you prefer putting your money in? Otherwise, yes, bank and post office, they all are regulated, so it's nothing like somebody's going to take your money and run away. So it's all safe. It's just totally a personal preference, I would say, when it comes to investing in these instruments. So we also have Pooja and Rebecca here. Hi, Pooja. Hi, Rebecca. And oh wow, we have two questions from Rebecca already. So let's take that up first. So her first question is, what is post office recurring deposit? So Rebecca, like how you have a recurring deposit at the bank, the same thing is that is the same product that a post office offers to you. It's the same product just by a different entity that is floating in the market. A recurring deposit, as we know, you are allowed to make monthly payments in this deposit scheme, and for post office RD you have a maturity period of 5 years. So after 5 years you can withdraw your money, and the minimum investment in this is rupees 100, which can be extended in multiples of 10, but there's no maximum limit as well. So this is your post office recurring deposit, and I hope I've answered your question. If not, do let me know if there's something else you're looking out for. And your question is, what is the return on investment? So as per the April data that we can find on the post office website, it was 6.8% interest that is annually charged to your account. That is annually, the interest is annually credited to your bank account. So that was the return on investment. However, I believe that the post office site needs to be updated with the interest rate, but you can always visit your nearest post office and find out. They always have this board hanging out outside the post office, or if you enter the post office, you'll see a board where they've written all their schemes and they've mentioned all the updated percentages. So if I can visit the post office anytime soon, I'll definitely bring out all the rates, and I'll make a post on our Being Lxme community, and you can always check it out there. And all those who are not aware of the Being Lxme community, Lxme has its own community, that is a Being Lxme community, which is a private group, and it has all female members in it. We are here to talk all about money. It's a no nonsense group. There's nothing you'll find vague or something that it might not interest you. In fact, here you're only going to learn more and more. We have a lot of awesome women here who keep asking questions, who educate each other, and I believe together we just learn and grow. So do check it out, be a part of it if you aren't already, and do wait for my post on the updated interest rate on the post office schemes. So yeah, Rebecca, I think I've answered those questions of yours. Then we have another question here. This is from Sai Deepika again. Difference of TD and FD. Wow, that's a great question, Sai Deepika. So even I'll be honest with you, for the longest of time, I thought that post office used to give us FDs, but it was until when I started learning finance when I understood that post office doesn't give an FD, it gives a TD, that is a time deposit, and FD is a fixed deposit that we usually get usually get by different banks and financial financial corporations basically. So the major difference, I'll tell you, there are three differences that I can think of right now. One, an FD can be from anywhere between 7 days to a 10 years period. So that's a very huge spectrum that you get to choose from. Whereas a post office TD gives you only four options: a 1 year TD, 2 year TD, 3 year TD, and a 5 year TD. So these are the only four options that you get. Secondly, in a TD, if you are opting for a 5-year TD, the contribution can be used against to claim deduction against Section 80C, whereas in an FD, if you are opting for a tax-free FD, that is a 10-year. Wait, once again, it's 10-year or 5-year. I'll just confirm that and get back to you guys. If you are going for that a period of a particular FD, only that you can claim under your Section 80C deduction. And the third, so your TDs have minimum investment values, which I'll confirm just a second. So your TDs can be opened with a minimum value of rupees 1,000, whereas your FDs can be fluctuating. So depending on your bank, depending where you're opening your account, and FD can have a minimum balance of this or that. But here the amount is standard. It's 1,000 rupees that you can opt for opening your account. So I hope that answers your question between what is the difference, what is the difference between a TD and an FD. Now we have another question. Oh wow, it's another question from Rebecca here. It is KVP suitable for all? How is it different from PPF? Wow, that's a great question, Rebecca. So yes, a KVP is suitable for anyone and everyone that I can think of right now, because first of all, it's a fixed income instrument, so that means you're going to get guaranteed money back. Second, it offers a great interest rate compared to most of the debt securities out there, so that is again a very good investment option. Third, in a KVP, you have no cap of investment. You can make as much investment as you want. Obviously the tax benefits are not there. That is going to be a little drawback from the end of the post office, but yes, it's a good option. Like, you don't have to keep diversifying if you know that there's a sum of money you have to put in this thing. And talking about who can open this account, so any adult or joint holding, any guardian of a minor child or a person with an unsound mind can open it. And the biggest advantage, that any child who is 10 years and above, even though they're a minor, they can open this in their own name. Like, the whole KVP can be opened. Now the KVP actually comes with a lock-in period. So it is said that in 124 months, that is 10 years 4 months, your amount gets doubled with the KVP. But the time frame can actually be different from time to time. So for today, if I go for a deposit, the time frame of maturity will be different than me going there after 6 months, 1 year period, because this time duration is set by the Ministry of Finance. So here it depends, and accordingly you can choose. However, there is an option of a premature withdrawal. So from the date of your deposit till 2 years and some months after that, if you want to withdraw your money, you can do so too. So yes, it's actually suitable for a lot, and people who are looking to fill their debt portfolio, you can always check it out. I believe it's a great investment instrument, and I think post office instruments are not given that, they're not that renowned, and maybe there's not a lot of awareness about it, so people often lose the opportunity to invest in them, but you can always check it out. I mean, in today's day there are various FDs and RDs which are not offering such great interest what a post office instrument is. So but obviously the one drawback is that they come with a little longer lock-in period or a maturity period, but then if it's but what's worth is your money, you're growing your money a little more extensively. So that is one difference that I can see. Now we have a question by Lxme Sahambari, and okay, so she has just dropped into pointers, and it's not exactly a question. So one is IPPB account and one is PO insurance. So Lakshmi, please help me understand what is your question exactly. But to those who want to know what IPPB account and PO insurance is, PO insurance is nothing but post office insurance. This is a insurance scheme that is given by the post office. So it is open. Earlier it was not open for all. It was I have even talked about this in my previous live. You can go and check it out there, but yes, I'll just repeat it again. It's a postal insurance that is open for the people out there who want to take an insurance for themselves but want a lower premium and a very decent amount of coverage. So this is one thing you can go for. And IPPB is Indian Post Payments Bank account, if I'm not wrong. This is the correct full form of this abbreviation. So this is nothing but a payments bank option that is given by the post office, and you can use this while you're using the net banking and mobile banking facility by the post office. About this also I've talked in my last live, where I've mentioned what all activities you can do so. And I would request Pooja if you can link my previous live in the comment section, so people who want to know more about IPPB account and PO insurance can check that live out. And if you want to know more, do let us know about these two, and we'll make sure that we cover these two topics in the community, the Being Lxme community, as a complete post itself. So anyone who's looking for this insurance or this option of opening a savings account or any of the features that it allows you to do, you can check it out and do so. So those are some questions here, and now we have another set of questions that we have received. So the first question is, are the KVP certificates transferable? Yes, they are completely transferable. You can. However, there are certain clauses that you have to ensure you're meeting before you make this transfer. You can always check out the post office website, and there you can find all the clauses that you need to either meet, or you need to ensure you fulfill them in order to make this transfer successful. Then we have, what is the minimum investment for KVP? So like I had mentioned before, that the minimum investment amount for a KVP is going to be in rupees thousands, that can be in multiples of 100, and you don't have to and you don't have any maximum cap, so you can make any number of like basically X number of investment in that. Now we have the next question. What are the eligibility criteria to invest in KVP scheme? So I've already answered this question while I was answering this question by Rebecca, that if you have to open a KVP scheme, you need to be you can be an adult, you can have a joint holding, you can be a guardian of a minor or an unsound mind person, you can be a person above the age of 10 and open it in your own name. And apart from that, there is no such eligibility criteria that you have to meet. Just make sure you are holding the minimum balance requirement, and you should be good to go. Great. So now we have a question. What is the maturity period of KVP certificates? Again, a question I've already answered, that it is declared by the Ministry of Finance time to time. However, a period of 124 months, that is 10 years and 4 months, is the period 10 years and 4 months is the period within which your money should double. That is a basic scheme of KVP. Now, who should invest in Kisan Vikas Patra? Like I mentioned, it's open for all. Anybody looking to fill their debt part of the portfolio can always look at this. It's a fixed income instrument, comes with a percentage of interest that is promised at the beginning of your investment, and that should be that should be enough for you to know if you really want to invest in it, because like I said, your investor portfolio, your needs, your risk appetite, your requirements are what drives your investment. So I hope that answers. Next, we have a question here. What are the documents required for availing a Kisan Vikas Patra? So any scheme you want to open at a post office, okay, like any scheme you want to open, it's very easy. I think post office schemes are one of the most user friendly, if I may say, consumer friendly, customer friendly. I'm not sure what word to use, but they are because there's not a lot of paperwork involved. Here you just have to give your KYC documents and you're good to go. Just your name, an address proof, maybe not maybe, definitely a PAN card, and if any other document is required in case you have a mismatch of your name or your address or something, only in those special cases. Otherwise, there are not a lot of documents that you need to submit in order to open your KVP. Just make sure that you check you have an account at the post office, because that's just one thing even I need to ensure and confirm if you need to have a post office account in order to open a KVP. But as far as I remember, you don't need to do that either. So you can always, and if you want to skip you giving your documents, you can always just show your post office passbook also in as a replacement to these accounts, because if you have a post office passbook, that means you have a savings account there. That means you already have your KYC done there. So that can also be one of the other ways of getting about it. But just make sure, talk to, whenever you go there to open an account, just get it confirmed if they are following this. So this is like a hack that I can think of, but again, you never know what these post office schemes, how they change the rules and everything. So just go there and check once. And I can see Pooja has linked. So great. Thank you so much, Pooja. So guys, whoever is watching, if you want to know more about the IPPB account and post office insurance, please check out the link that Pooja has mentioned in the comment section below. Somewhere towards the middle end, you will find it there. Great. Next, we have a question here. What is this question? What is a post office recurring deposit scheme? So I think this is a repetitive question that we have received, so I'm going to skip this one. Then we have, what is the eligibility criteria for the post office recurring deposit? Great. So again, the post office RD deposit eligibility is exactly the same as your KVP one. You need to be an adult. You can be a guardian of a, on behalf of a minor or a person of an unsound mind. You can be a minor above the age of 10. Here, although there's one exception, for a joint account, you can have 3 adults instead of 2. So here you can have like 3 adults who can open, and multiple people can open, multiple accounts can be opened for one person. So if I'm there who wants to open an RD, instead of opening just one RD, I can have like 10 or 12 or X number of RDs in my name. And for RD, your minimum eligibility amount is ₹100, which has to be in multiples of 10. And again, no cap to it. So I hope that can be counted as an eligibility criteria for your RDs. Then next question we have, rate of interest on post office recurring deposit. So I have repeated it before also, and I think by mistake I said it was 6.8. It's not 6.8, it's 5.8%. So it's 5.8% per annum. That is the rate of interest on an RD that you get at a post office. But again, this was the percentage that was available in April 2020, and that is the last figure that you can find out on the website as well of post office. And do let me know in the comment section below if you want me to do a post where I actually get a picture of the board that is in the post office, which tells you the different schemes and the percentage and how they actually like show it. So do let me know. After that only I'm gonna go and get a picture from the post office. So great. Now we have another question. Taxation on post office RD account. So I believe you want to know what is the tax implications when you open an RD. So here there are no tax benefits, unfortunately, and whatever amount you generate as a return is completely taxable. There's no deductions that are available for these. So yeah, that constitutes your tax implications on RD. Then we have a question, bank RD versus post office RD, which is better and why? Now, I have already said, given you the difference between a bank RD and a post office RD, which was nothing but ultimately them being same, just having different offerings. Although I would like to answer this question, which is better and why? Like I mentioned, which is better is should be completely customizable. If I know that in a particular bank I can open an RD where the minimum balance requirement is 5,000, and in post office I can open it with rupees 100, and I know I have like around 4,000 rupees in hand, I would definitely, even though I would want to go to the bank, I would pick the post office one because I know I want to start a scheme as of now, and I might not want to wait till I complete a 5,000 in my hand and then go and start my first round of monthly installment there. So these are a lot of things that are going to matter, like if you want to wait till you have a corpus and start making payments, if you know that is what you are getting monthly, which is what you're directly investing in an RD. If you have enough to invest in an RD per month basis their minimum requirement of deposit, so these things are going to matter. So again, here it's very difficult to say which one is better, because they both are given by institutes which are regulated, they both are safe, they both are government backed, both in the sense your post office is government backed, your PSU banks are also government backed, while your private banks are backed by RBI and not government specifically. So that way, like I'm saying, they're regulated and backed by some entity. There is a head sitting on them at the end of the day. So this is one of the reasons, again, better which according to your portfolio. I think I've repeated that a lot already in this live. Great. Next, we have premature withdrawal of post office RD account. Now, I'm not sure what is the question here, like what do you want to know about it, but I'll just run you through the whole premature withdrawal process. So here, like I mentioned, your RD comes with a 5-year lock-in period, right? So you have to hold your deposit for at least 3 years in a, to ensure that you want to make a premature withdrawal. You cannot withdraw your amount 3 years before, and that too you have to do by submitting an application to the post office. Now your interest rates will be applicable till the date of your maturity, and no premature closure of account shall be permissible until the period for which the advance deposit have been made. So there's this one clause that I think I've not talked about before, that you can make your advance deposits in RDs too, right? So if you know that for the next 6 months I have to pay 2,000, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay those 12,000, like 2,000 for the next 6 months beforehand itself. I'll tell the post office that, look, I'm making an advance deposit. So now if I've made those deposits for the next 6 months and I want to close my RD, I cannot for the next 6 months because my deposit has already been made. You cannot go there and ask them for a refund. So that is one way. And don't worry, if you don't make any deposit also in that period, your account won't be forfeited because you have technically made a deposit for each month, right? So these are the 3 clauses of premature withdrawal. Let me know if that answered your question, because I'm not sure what exactly the question was here. So we have Sai Deepika and Binita here. Hi both of you. Sai Deepika said great. So I'm supposing I answered your question right, Sai Deepika. Let me know if you have any more questions. And Binita is asking, can you tell me a bit about MIS? So Binita, MIS, we have a different session lined up for that, and it's going to be next week, which will be hosted by Priya, and she will be taking you through the whole spectrum of MIS. Although, since you have asked, and I don't want to leave you empty-handed, I'll just let you know that MIS is monthly income scheme. It's a scheme that is provided by the post office, where you can make a certain deposit for a certain period of time, where you will be getting your interest generated, and that interest is what you can withdraw monthly. So it's a month, so basically it's a good scheme to opt for if you are doing a if you want a monthly and a regular source of income. So that is one scheme that you can opt for. We have a comment here from Binita that says, thank you, looking forward for the next session. Please do, Binita, please ensure that you join us for that session, and you are going to learn a lot about it. In fact, I'm pretty sure Priya is also going to take you guys through not just MIS but other instrument as well, and it will be a great session to attend. We have a question here from Jyoti. Hi Jyoti, is the interest amount taxable in post office RD? Yes, completely. What you earn as an interest on an RD is completely taxable. In fact, any interest you earn on in banks also is completely taxable, unless it's a tax saving FD that you get at a bank. So yeah, to answer your question, it is completely taxable. Great. Now we have the next question here, and it says, I'm sorry, I got lost here. Premature withdrawal. Can an RD account be opened in the name of a minor at a post office? Yes, so I've answered this question in the eligibility question itself. An RD account can be opened in the name of a minor, and it can be done by a guardian on behalf of the minor, or the minor itself if they are above the age of 10. So that should answer this question. Then we have the next question here, which says, does post office offer any kind of rebate? So there's this one clause that I would like to run you guys through. Just hold on, give me a second. So when you open a TD account, right, and you opt for a 5-year TD, so that is when you actually get a rebate by the income tax, and you can actually claim that under section 80C, and that is something that you can always look out for if you're planning for a long-term investment, and you want to make an investment in an instrument where you can get tax benefits also. So this is one place that you can definitely plan on investing, and you can get your tax rebate, as well as your a great return on your investment, because like I mentioned, the post office schemes actually provide a better interest rate on fixed income instruments. But yes, again, the drawback, they come with a lock-in period. Great. So now we have another set of questions. So we get these questions from a lot of different places, right? So we have this third set of questions. So this one is from, so we have two questions from Aisha Ahuja. One is, can I get good returns and interest rates on post office schemes? So yes, I think I haven't emphasized less on this fact that post office provide better rate of interest when it comes to your fixed income instruments, and I would suggest most of these schemes that are floated by the post office are fixed income, because they all have a set rate of interest mentioned beforehand. But yes, they do come with a lot of clauses. They do have a good amount of lock-in period that is associated, and the maturity period is different, and the lock-in period is different. Maturity is when your scheme matures and you can freely take that money out. A lock-in period is a period which ends, and from that period till your maturity you can have access to make a premature withdrawal of your scheme, of your money from that particular scheme. So when I say the lock-in period is big, that means that even though the maturity is 5 years, even your lock-in comes till up to a 2 year or a 3 year period. So normally what happens is, if you go for a liquid instrument, even though your maturity is it's an implied lock-in period. Like when you say an implicit lock-in, an implied lock-in, that means you know that you need to give this instrument at least this much time, like xyz number of months or years, for it to perform and give better returns. For example, when it comes to equity stocks, you know that a long-term period is when your stocks are going to perform the best. Similarly, when you have a debt instruments, it's implied that this much time you have to give it. But when you talk about the lock-in, a highly liquid instrument will be something which, even though has a lock-in period, a maturity period, it will be accessible to you earlier than that. And for an example, a debt mutual fund is what I'm talking about. So for example, a liquid debt mutual fund is a mutual fund that invests in debt securities, which is said to have a maturity period of 91 days. That means after 91 days your instrument is going to mature. Although that instrument might come with a certain lock-in period, until which you'll be actually charged on an exit load, again optional by the AMC. So if for that period you are not withdrawing, after that you can anytime withdraw your amount. And for these instruments, normally a lock-in period is just a number of days, 10 days, 15 days, some are even like 5 days or something. So these instruments are highly liquid, whereas something like a post office RD, so just imagine having an RD for 5 years and having a lock-in of 3 years. That means just those 2 years, why would you want to take your money out? Unless it's an extreme emergency. Let's just hold it for that 2 years also, right? So I think it was one of the reasons why post office must have done it that way, that people don't take their money out at all. Great. So I hope that answers the question, Aisha. And we have another question. What is the eligibility of KVP? So I think we have received this question a lot, and seems like a lot of you are interested in KVP. So I am going to take this as a feedback from my viewers today, and I am going to make sure that on our Being Lxme community, we come out with a post exclusively on KVPs. And I would like all of you to go and check it out and drop your comments and let me know how you like that post, because I've seen a lot of questions on KVP and post office RDs today. Maybe TDs and not. Oh wow, as I say, I get a question on TD, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna make sure that KVPs have a post on it, and it will have everything from eligibility to benefits to how much amount you need to open, to premature withdrawal, to complete withdrawal. So stay tuned on our community and watch out for this new post. So now we have a question, and this is from Nish. How to divert one thinking beyond KVP returns. I'm not sure what this question means. How to divert one thinking beyond KVP returns. Nish, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you're trying to ask here. Maybe if somebody can help me understand this, how to divert one thinking beyond KVP returns. If you're asking if what should one look beyond just KVP returns to make your investment in it, so here I think I've answered this question by mentioning that since there's no cap, you can always decide to stay logged in if you are. So KVP comes with a good return in a good return on investment. So if you want to invest some sum of money for your child, or for your some future goal that you are not going to achieve in the you're not going to want to achieve in the next couple of years, but you have like good enough 10 years to achieve that kind of a goal, then to ensure you're not touching your money, you can make an investment there so that you don't just lose that money out. So these are a few things that you can look above and beyond just the returns, but I think that should work enough for you. Then we have a question here. It's from an anonymous user. What are TDs? Are post office funds, FDs, RDs any good? So TD is a time deposit, like how we have fixed deposits in a bank. Post office provides us a TD. TD comes for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and 5 years, and you can make a fixed lump sum investment in a TD and just wait for your money to grow. Post office gives a fixed return on interest on it, fixed percentage of interest, and you can always check out the current rates and make sure that this is the kind of a term deposit you want to go for. You can open a TD through the internet portal of the post office as well. Now, coming to the second part of your question, are post office funds, FDs, RDs any good? So, like I mentioned, post office does not provide FDs. Don't get confused like me. Why I was confused long time back. They provide TDs. So, substituting your question again, post office FDs, RDs any good? So this again circles back to the first part of my video where I've said that it completely depends on your investor portfolio. It completely depends on your needs, your investor profile, which constitutes of your goal, your risk appetite, your caliber to invest, and meeting your needs. Basically, you want to invest for a certain period of time with certain amount only, then you might want to go for it. So I hope this answers your question. Then we have a question here by Sandhya Jayaram. Which bank provides a good interest for RD and 3 year goal? Is RD the only option? So Sandhya, if you're gonna ask me which bank provides good interest on RD, I would say that any bank today, I think most of the banks today have the same kind of a chart, right? For the interest tables that they provide, they have kind of the same chart because they all function on the same, underlying situations on which they calculate your returns. Now, which one is better is a very hard question for me to answer as a third person for you, because I don't know how much amount you want to invest. I don't know how much amount you invest, how much amount you want to invest in this RD regularly. Because I might say that, go to this XYZ bank, the return is really good. But the one thing that I would be ignorant about is that the minimum investment there is rupees 5,000. You have to make a deposit of 5,000 every time, and I don't know if you are ready to make a 5,000 deposit or not. For example, there is this one corporation. I'll not name it, but there's this one corporation where you get a non-cumulative fixed deposit with an 8.5%. So that's a fixed deposit with an 8.5%. Seems very attractive, right? I mean, none of the banks are giving 8.5%, even if you're a senior citizen today. Like, there was a time where senior citizens got that extra 0.5% benefit, but now banks are not giving it to them either. But this corporation does, and it does today. It's like, even today it does. But why would one not want to invest in it is because it comes with a minimum investment of 50,000. It's a government owned corporation, and you need to have a 50,000 deposit to ensure you're getting a 8.5% interest on that. So seems exciting, right? But as soon as you get to hear the other clauses, you might want to revisit your thought of investing in such an instrument. So that is the only reason I say that don't just blindly pick an option, or don't just blindly ask for advice. Rather, learn about those instruments, learn the clauses, learn the benefits, learn the features, learn the different aspects of it, and then make a sound decision, because nobody knows your money journey better than you. I can tell you 10 different instruments today to invest in where you can get really good profits, but then you have to decide if can you meet the eligibility requirements, can you make the minimum deposits, can you stick to that tenure of deposit also. So this is one thing I think we should all take a learning also, that please make your own money journeys happen, make your own moves, make your own discoveries when it comes to making the right choice, instead of just blindly copying somebody else's plan. And Sandhya, I think this should answer your question. The second part of your question, well, that is one thing I would like to answer. 3 year goal, is RD the only option? No, RD is not just the only option for you. You have a lot of options for a 3-year goal. Like when I say a lot, it means a lot of options. First of all, you have, I would say, in debt mutual funds, you have 16 subcategories. In hybrid mutual funds, you have 6 subcategories. So yes, you have like a lot of subcategories in the mutual fund instrument itself. To meet your 3-year goal, you can have a combination of various types of instruments to ensure you're getting a good portfolio. See, the one hack that we tell people is that if you want to meet a short term goal for a 3-year period, do invest in debt securities, but also have some component of equity, because equity does give you the upper hand. And if you are still a risk averse person, or if you don't want to risk that capital at all because you know it took you a while to collect that kind of a money, then you can always substitute with funds like arbitrage funds, which give you the exposure to equity markets, but then also it's very very safe comparative to equity, and it is actually at par with the debt securities only, the security of that mutual fund. They're all subjected to market risk, but again, when we talk about something specifically, this is what we say. So you can always opt for mutual fund. Mutual fund is, I think, one of the best working instrument for you if you're looking for that kind of a goal. You have short-term FTs. You have RDs. I'm sorry, not short-term. You have RDs. You have FTs. Then you have so there's this one thing that I've recently observed, that there are some bank accounts which, to get a competitive edge, are offering high percentage of interest in their savings account. But again, please be very mindful about two things. One, that they come with a high minimum balance requirement, and one, they are very much subjected to change their interest rate often. They'll just send you a mail stating that, hey, we have changed the interest rate. So that is a very fluctuating situation. But you can always look out for these bank accounts which provide you good interest rates on your savings. So you don't have to completely invest everything you have. You can have like some liquid amount saved in those kind of accounts too, because see, at the end your goal is to generate money, and why not generate money from the most easiest way you can possibly, like just keeping your money idle in a savings account, which is giving you very good returns. Okay, I do not encourage anyone to just leave their amounts idle in a bank account which gives them a 3% or a 4%, because you have competitive edge out there. You should always take care of the opportunity cost that you're going to lose if you invest in something which has way lesser return. So these high yield saving bank accounts is another option for you. And you can always check out these post office schemes. Priya is going to run you through a couple of them at the next session, like I mentioned. So now, with that, we would have covered all the post office schemes for you guys. So you can now listen to our lives again if you enjoy them, and you can make a wise choice of selecting the right account for yourself. So these are the various instruments that are actually out there in the market to support a 3-year dream. You can, I mean, if you are at our platform, then why not help you out in the most easiest way? You can always check out our app, the Lxme app. You can check out our website, www.lxme.in, and you can go to the Invest tab. In the app, you have the My Money tab. Click on that. You will have different portfolios. Now, these portfolios are nothing but mutual fund baskets that we have prepared for you. These are selected by the expertise of Anand Rathi research team, and they are there not just to give you a good interest, but with an alpha. Now, an alpha is basically a protection. In the most easiest language, I can tell you that this much level of safety is required for our mutual funds to be for us to offer it to our customers. So that benchmark of safety is what we refer to as alpha. Like, I know the financial people are gonna kill me for saying it this way, but this is the most easiest way I can break it down for all of you. So so we ensure we stick to that alpha, and these portfolios, since everyone out there has different goals to meet, we have kept them very specific to time horizons, like an ultra short term plan, a short term plan, a long term plan, a tax saving plan, a goal saving plan. So you can check these plans out, and wherever your goal fits, right? If I want to do my further education in 2 years, and there's someone who might want to do their education in the next 6 years because they're still like in school, we both have the same goal but in different time horizons, right? So we both can stick to a different plan. Obviously, kids, please ask your parents before you make any investments. Don't just go all rebel out there. So yeah, you can check out these portfolios and make your right investment choice. And you can always reach out to us at on our page, that is the Lxme official page on Facebook. You can reach out to us on the community. You just have to do one simple stuff, or send us a request. We accept you drop in your questions on the community. We have the experts there. I'll be there. Priya is there. We are there to assist you with all your queries. You will have these lovely ladies who have learned within the community, and they're there to share their knowledge with you. We have a lot of ladies who have a lot of experience in the finance, the banking sector. They are there to help you out, and you get the real time knowledge there. So do check out the community, and for any further questions, please reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you out. And with that, I have completed my set of questions. They were a lot today, and I'm really, really happy that we are getting these many questions, because that just shows that how enthusiastic you guys are and how seriously you guys are taking these the whole part where you want to learn to ensure you're making the right money decisions. And I think it's high time we all take charge for our money, right? So really glad to receive these questions. I hope in the next session we have even more and more and more and more as we do our sessions. And if you haven't checked out our session on cryptocurrencies yesterday, on this Lxme page itself, you will find a session where our founder, Mrs. Preeti Rati Gupta, came up with different experts from the crypto market to discuss what cryptocurrencies are, how, who should invest in it, what are the whole, basically breaking down cryptocurrency for us. And please don't forget to check that out too. You'll get to learn a lot from it. And next session, so we have already planned for you, but do let us know if you want us to cover a certain topic, you want us to take you through any particular investment, any strategy, any new regulation. We are always here to talk and discuss about it. It's a pleasure to answer your questions. And with that, I believe we have completed our session today. It was a very nice session. It was lovely talking to you all. And thank you, Jyoti, Binita, Sai, Deepika, Pooja, Rebecca, Priya, for dropping in your comments. It was lovely interacting with you guys. And I will see you next time. Bye, stay safe, and happy investing.